Hi, it's me, Nikki, with an all-new Nikki's Wiki. Today's Wiki is all about Halloween costumes. I love dressing up for Halloween. This year, I'm celebrating my inner Jedi by dressing up as Rey from Star Wars, The Force Awakens. So cool! What are you guys going to be for Halloween? Do you need some ideas? Perfect! Let's count down the top 5 characters to be this Halloween. Starting with number 5, Minions! Potato! Number 4, Joy from Inside Out. Number 3, Katniss from Hunger Games. Number 2, Madeline Hatter from Ever After High. And coming in at number 1, Crafty Carol!
Hey, that's me! Oh, I'm so flattered.
Bet you weren't expecting Crafty Carol this year as the number 1 costume. Besides costumes and candy, Halloween is awesome for so much more. So, let's look at a super duper Halloween Wiki marathon right now.
My cool school project is all about Halloween. Halloween has been celebrated for a long, long time, even before I was born.
Trick or treat, kids.
But I've been trick-or-treating for as long as I can remember. That's at least 7 years, so I'm pretty much an expert. The first reason Halloween is awesome is you get to dress up. Kids dress up, grown-ups dress up, babies dress up, even your dog can dress up. You can be a witch or a ghost or a skeleton and be scary. Or you can be a prince or a princess and wear a crown. You can be big and strong like a superhero or a dinosaur. Or you can be funny like a clown. Or scary like a clown. I don't like clowns.
What did I do?
Once you're dressed up, you're ready to go trick-or-treating. Number 1 reason this is awesome? Candy! Glorious buckets and bags of never-ending candy. You just tell people to give you candy, and they do. Personally, I think it's nicer to ask. You knock on the door and yell, trick-or-treat! And then they say, oh, you're so cute! And then they give you candy! My little brother says, trick-or-treat, smell my feet, give me something good to eat, which is amazing because people laugh, instead of saying, what a horrible child, and closing the door. My brother is just joking when he says that, but his feet are so stinky that people can't help but smell them. P.U. Speaking of brothers, once you get home, it is absolutely necessary that you hide your Halloween candy in the best hiding spot ever. If you don't, he'll find your stash and gobble up all your best treats. Usually I have 2 bags, the small one that I share, and the big one all for me. Okay, back to the fun stuff. You might also get to go to a Halloween carnival. You can eat caramel apples or red candy apples or Bob for apples.
Hey, I'm Bob and I love apples.
No, not a guy named Bob who likes apples. Yeah, that's what I meant. You can see all kinds of pumpkins at a carnival, from teensy tiny itty bitty ones to great big giant ones. Sometimes people even wear pumpkins on their heads, like in The Legend of Sleepy Hollow. And my personal favorite pumpkin is the Great Pumpkin from Charlie Brown. You can dance to the Monster Mash. Or go to a haunted house. Ooh. Okay, it's not really haunted. Usually it's just some older kids dressed up in costumes.
Oh, hey. Boo.
So let's recap. Halloween means you get to have the most fun ever, dress up in an awesome costume, and eat a megaton of free candy. And that is why Halloween is the best day ever.
Don't go anywhere. More awesome Halloween videos are starting right now.
My cool school project is all about monsters. A lot of people think monsters are scary, but most of them aren't. Unless you include my little brother when he doesn't brush his teeth and he breathes on you. Ew! But I think most monsters are pretty cool. First of all, what do monsters look like? Some are tall, some are short. Some monsters are super cute, some are less cute. Some look furry, some look fuzzy, and some monsters just look funny. Monsters can come in super handy, like when you need a tissue. Achoo!
Gesundheit.
Thanks.
Or when you have a bug problem.
Delicious.
Or if you just need a cool sidekick.
Thanks.
And when you get tired, they're like giant stuffed animals. You might think that monsters like to hide under beds and in closets and scare people. Not true. Monsters actually live in trash cans, castles, lakes, and snowy mountains. Sometimes they live in your pocket, like Pokemon.
Yeah, in Japan we're called pocket monsters.
Hey, you're only supposed to say your name.
Oops. I mean...
Pika Pika!
Monsters like to go to school, eat dessert,
Cookie.
cuddle, and sing. Some monsters just like to watch TV. Oh, and they love to dance. They even have their own dance called the Monster Mash.
You did the Monster Mash.
The most important thing to know about monsters is that you should never be afraid of them. But just in case you're ever kinda scared, just remember you can totally defeat the monster. Here are a few ways. Number 1, turn on your nightlight. Ah! Monsters hate nightlights. Number 2, yell boo! Ah! That works every time. Number 3, throw snowballs. Ah! And number 4, just replace their cookies with yucky stuff.
Kooky. Ah! Mushroom!
So basically, monsters are super cool and awesome and fun and not scary at all. And if I got to have my very own monster, I would name her Prankenstein. And we would play hilarious pranks on my brother like all the time. That would be so sweet. So what's your favorite monster? And if you had your own monster, what would you name it? Tell me in the comments.
My cool school project is all about villains. Villains are people in stories and movies that behave badly.
I refuse to clean my room.
Not like deciding not to clean up your toys or having a tantrum in the frozen food aisle.
I want candy.
Villains are really bad. Like they make up plans to rule everything.
Uh-oh.
Villains also like to fight against superheroes like Ultron versus the Avengers just to make their evil plans happen. Villains are also known as the Lord of Evil, like Hunson Abadir. The arch enemy, like Spider-Man's Green Goblin. The ultimate mischief maker, like Bowser from Super Mario. Or just plain old bad guys.
Is everybody ready to be bad?
Yep, if you need any kind of mayhem or destruction, you can count on a villain to do the job. Most villains are lacking in the good looks department. Some villains are part creature and part human, like Ursula from The Little Mermaid. And some villains have big, sharp teeth like Scar or the Big Bad Wolf. Some of them are just strange looking and wear weird costumes. Yeah, super weird. And this villain has 2 faces. That's just double weird. A lot of villains have superhuman powers to fight off the good guys, like Megatron and Sandman, who change into other shapes, also known as shape-shifting. Others have the power of telepathy, which means they can use their thoughts to communicate without moving their lips.
Take out the trash. Never mind. I will do it myself.
Not all villains have superhuman powers. Some are just super duper rich and can buy lots of powerful gadgets and hire a bunch of minions to do their dirty work. And then there are bad guys who are just so smart. They can invent things that help them take over the world. And some villains like wizards and witches don't need any fancy powers at all. They can cast evil spells using their magic wands and good old cauldrons.
Abracadabra, alakazam! Make this cat grumpy just like I am.
Now.
I think my favorite villain is Vector from Despicable Me. He's odd-looking, has a private lair with pet sharks, and he's so smart. He steals the moon. He pretty much has all the characteristics that make a good villain. So who is your favorite villain? Tell us in the comments below.
My cool school project is all about superheroes. Superheroes are awesome for like a million reasons, but mostly because they have superpowers. Some have super strength. Some can fly, or go invisible, or read minds. Some superheroes are super fast, and some superheroes are just super duper smart. So, where do they get their powers from? Well, some superheroes come from other planets, like Guardians of the Galaxy. Some are mutants, like X-Men. Some are radioactive, like Spider-Man. Some are built, like Baymax and Iron Man. And some get their powers from their parents, like the Incredibles. Whole families of superheroes. A lot of people know superheroes because they're famous and in movies and stuff. But they're also really easy to spot because they wear costumes. Superhero costumes usually have a cape or a symbol, or they have underwear on the outside of their pants. I don't know what's so super about that. A lot of superheroes have secret identities or a special disguise, so no one knows their superhero secret. Sometimes my grandpa wears glasses when he's reading, but the rest of the time he doesn't need them. Maybe he's a secret superhero.
I'm up and away! Oh, my back.
One thing every superhero needs is an arch nemesis. That that means major enemy. Superman versus Lex Luthor, Spider-Man versus the Green Goblin, and Batman versus the Joker. Sometimes the superheroes team up and fight the bad guys together. Pow! Wham! Crash! Maybe instead of fighting, they should just talk to each other.
Hey, I like your costume.
Thanks.
Superheroes are the good guys, but sometimes they have a bad day. Sometimes real-life people are heroes. Even kids can be heroes. I think sometimes just doing something nice for somebody makes you a hero. To sum it up, superheroes are super cool, and I want to be one when I grow up. My superpower would be invisibility, so I could sneak in the kitchen and take cookies whenever I want. Or maybe super speed, so I could just run in really fast and take them and run away. Flying would be cool too. Then I could just fly around taking cookies whenever I wanted them. So, who's your favorite superhero? Tell us in the comments. My project is about trolls. These are trolls. Some trolls are big and others are small, but they all seem to have similar features. Trolls are often very large, smelly, and dirty. This most likely comes from their unhealthy diet of eating only mountain goats. Their skin is very tough and has many shades of gray in its coloring. When trolls are sleeping, they can often be mistaken for a pile of rocks. Their hair is made of bushes and trees, as this helps them hide when they don't want to be seen. A troll with a great hairdo can look like a nice place for a mountain goat to rest and get some shade. Not so in this situation. Sorry, Mr. Goat.
It's okay.
Trolls' personalities are a funny thing. They think very highly of themselves, as if they are the smartest in all the land. But in reality, they are not the smartest in all the land.
Hey, I heard that.
Trolls are also very greedy. They don't like to share, and they will get into fights with one another about silly little things. It is this selfishness that prevents trolls from ever being truly happy. So, don't be a troll, be happy. And always be nice to mountain goats.
Once upon a time, long ago, there was a very spooky town called Sleepy Hollow. It was spooky because it was dark and shadowy, and the wind made a noise through the trees like this. Ooh. Everyone would go to the big Sleepy Halloween Carnival. All the folks in Sleepy Hollow were excited for the carnival, but one young man named Ichabod Crane was the most excited. He was planning to, first, win the jack-o'-lantern carving contest, and second, ask Katrina, the coolest girl in the town, to marry him. It was going to be an epic night. Halloween came and Ichabod practiced carving pumpkins all day. There were funny pumpkins, cool pumpkins, pretty pumpkins, and scary pumpkins. He also practiced proposing.
Will you marry me? Wouldst thou join me in holy matrimony? Will you be my wife? Marry me.
Finally, it was time to go to the carnival. Ichabod had carved some really awesome jack-o'-lanterns, but he picked out the very scariest pumpkin as it was sure to win first prize. He was just so darn excited. He was rushing out the door when he slipped on some pumpkin guts and slipped whoosh! When he landed, his prize-winning jack-o'-lantern was stuck on his head.
Oh no!
He couldn't get the pumpkin off his head without breaking it and messing up the scary face he carved. So he decided he'd just wear the pumpkin to the carnival. He heard some of the neighborhood children skipping down the path on their way to the carnival. He called out,
"Hello there, children."
But the pumpkin over his mouth made him sound kind of like this.
Hello there, children.
The kids took one look at the scary pumpkin's head and...
Well, that's odd. Guess they're excited it's Halloween.
The children ran ahead to the carnival, telling everyone they saw that there was a man with a pumpkin for a head chasing them. Then Ichabod heard old Mr. Winkle headed his way. He knew it was him because Mr. Winkle whistled a happy tune wherever he went, and his horse, Irving, always wore a bridle covered in jingle bells.
Hello, Mr. Winkle. Can you help me? I seem to have lost my head.
Mr. Winkle stopped whistling and started yelling.
Ah! Ah!
So loudly that Irving got spooked, and when a horse gets spooked, they go wild. He got up and ran away yelling,
Pumpkin Man! It's a headless pumpkin man!
He ran straight to the carnival to warn everyone that there was a scary man with a pumpkin for a head coming their way. Ichabod had no way of seeing what he looked like, but he realized now that he must look pretty scary, so he decided he would just let people know straight away that it was he, Ichabod Crane, and not a scary pumpkinhead. He rode up to the carnival and he said,
"Hello, it is I!"
But before he could finish, the townsfolk all panicked.
Ah, a headless horseman! Off with his pumpkin head!
Yeah, hit the road, Jack-o'-lantern!
He stole my horse.
I say we turn him into pumpkin pie!
That was yelled by the baker, none other than Katrina von Tassel, the very lady that Ichabod was hoping to marry. The angry mob was closing in on him.
Wait, it's me, Ichabod. I'm Ichabod Crane.
Did he say he ate Ichabod Crane?
I was gonna marry that man.
She charged forth, waving her rolling pin in the air, and she whacked the mean old pumpkin man on his pumpkin head with her rolling pin. The pumpkin cracked open, and there was Ichabod Crane.
Ichabod! Hi, Katrina.
Ichabod explained to everyone how he had slipped and gotten the jack-o'-lantern stuck on his head, how he didn't want to ruin it and had just been looking for some help getting it off in one piece so he could still win first prize in the pumpkin carving contest.
I never meant to scare anyone, I promise. I just worked so hard on that jack-o'-lantern.
The townsfolk were just happy they didn't have to worry about a real pumpkin head man. So they forgave Ichabod for being scary, and he forgave them for trying to turn him into a pumpkin pie. He entered the pumpkin carving contest with new jack-o'-lanterns freshly carved. It wasn't a scary jack-o'-lantern this time. It just had words carved into it, and it said, "Will you marry me?" Ichabod didn't win first prize, but Katrina liked it a lot. It turned out to be a very happy Halloween in Sleepy Hollow. The end.
My school project is about witches. This is a witch. We know it's a witch because of a few things. First, the pointy black hat.
Hey, give me back my hat!
Here you go.
Thank you.
Most, if not all witches have a pointy hat. But not all people with pointy hats are witches. The next thing we look for in a witch is the green skin.
Don't you look at my skin. I'll be green if I want to.
But not all things with green skin are witches. Another thing we look for in a witch is a long, crooked nose with a wart on top.
You leave my nose alone. I like it.
There's nothing wrong with a long nose because not everything with a long nose is a witch. And last, we know it's a witch if it's doing magic, especially while riding a broomstick. And mixing things in a cauldron. And so, in conclusion, if she has a pointy hat, green skin, a long crooked nose with a wart on top, and she's doing magic while riding a broomstick, well then, you are correct. Your sister is definitely a witch.
Hey, you want more cool school videos? Click right here to watch Snow White.